a family picture.
I was just about to say family portrait.
Hey guys, it's Kate, and I'm here with my friend Molly, who you've seen in the video I posted last, and we have some stuff to talk about, so sit tight and enjoy where you're sitting. We wanted to talk about veganism because that's something that's important to both of us, and I just felt like I should help share the message. First thing is, you get a free dog every time you go vegan. We want to talk about health reasons, environmental reasons, and ethical reasons why we went vegan, and what benefits you will gain by giving up that bad stuff. So the first major thing that I noticed was energy levels.
It's like you can eat like a bunch of food and not feel so like weighed down and heavy like right after you eat it. Because you know how like sometimes you eat like a full meal and you'll feel super like gross and weighed down. Like,
I'm tired.
Yeah, you don't really get that like when you eat on a vegan diet.
And good news, if you didn't know this already, you can get everything you could possibly need from plants. Another thing that I noticed is that you become more aware of what you're putting in your body, which I really liked. I did a lot more cooking and a lot more investigating into what I was eating. I'm gonna link a whole bunch of info on like where you can get like calcium and iron and iodine if you're worried about how you would get those, because it's really easy to get them if you do your research. So I'm going to link all of that in the bottom, the down bar below, so if you have any questions you can go look further. Plant-based diet tends to be lower in saturated fat and higher in fiber, and everyone needs fiber and less saturated fat, so good to go for health for that.
Okay, another thing about milk that's like a common misconception is like we don't need it, and it's really unnatural for humans to drink milk. We are the only species that drinks the milk from another species, and milk is only meant for babies that are like
of that
growing like of that species. It's not natural. It's not good for you. Milk actually leads to being like more calcium deficient later in life.
The people who are telling you that you need to drink milk for calcium are the people who are selling the milk. So it's like all in the advertising. When you think calcium, you think milk, and that's just kind of been like trained in your mind. And processed meat has been labeled as a carcinogen, and just like the idea of that alone is kind of creepy.
If you take up a more plant-based diet, like even if you aren't like full out vegan, like it makes such a big impact. And like I've known people like in my family who have had diabetes, then like change their whole lifestyle and like reverse it, and like they're fine now. Even
if you don't have health issues, you'll notice little things that you didn't before.
It changed my mood a lot. Like I would be so much more like positive and like in such like a better mood.
In cheese, there's this thing called casein in it, which is an addictive protein. It keeps the baby calf coming back to its mother to drink milk. So that alone, it like makes you crave cheese. It's an actual addictive thing. It's really just, you know, like you crave cheese when you're constantly eating it because you keep feeding that addiction.
Oreos are vegan.
Yeah, Oreos are vegan.
10 grams. I love it.
So many things are vegan. I'll link them down in the description below. Things you wouldn't expect, like Oreos.
You're not going to be eating asparagus for the rest of your life.
And there's alternatives to everything, although some of them are expensive, and a lot of people only pay attention to those. But I totally understand people who can't buy their own groceries, who aren't in charge of buying their own groceries. If you have the opportunity to, definitely try it. It's worth a shot, and I think you're going to be really happy if you stick with it. Okay, environments.
Deforestation, dead zones, species extinction, air pollution, water pollution.
All of that's from animal agriculture, and it's the leading cause in all of these things.
In Food Inc., there's this part where they go to a chicken farm, I think it was, and they aren't allowed to go in to see where the chickens are kept. And, like, because there's just so much that goes on that, like, we don't know about, and we aren't allowed to know about, which I think is kind of messed up, because we should be allowed to know what we are buying and what we put in our bodies. Like, this is our lives that we're talking about, because all that matters is that like the big corporations are getting the money.
A vegan diet only takes up about 1/3 of the land that a conventional Western diet uses. We're obviously running out of space on this planet.
The world population is growing so exponentially that it's just not sustainable for us to take up as much land as we are.
There he is. So, spotted.
It's so dark.
About 3.5 billion people could be fed with the crops going to feed livestock, which is just crazy to me that we're feeding all of this good food that could go to people who need it to animals that are going to like first world countries that don't even need it.
It causes like land destruction in other countries for like our own benefit.
Animal agriculture is responsible for 80 to 90% of water consumption in the US, which is insane because we need so much water and it's just getting sucked up by animal agriculture.
Another thing is, this is just like a side note about water. If you can, avoid bottled water because it has, like, I think it's 38 different chemicals in it. It's so bad for you and for the environment.
Definitely get yourself a reusable water bottle and you can put stickers on it. for every 1 pound of fish, there's 5 pounds of marine life that is accidentally scooped up and thrown away as bykill, which is awful for the amount of animals that are just being destroyed in the environment. And by 2048, we could see fishless oceans if we continue going the way we are. And animal agriculture is responsible for 91% of Amazon rainforest deforestation.
Every day, just so much of it is just disappearing, just like for our like temporary gain.
Ethical reasons.
When it comes down to it, like, we're talking about actual, like, tangible lives here. Like, these are like actual creatures. When a baby cow is taken from a mother cow, like, the mother cow, like, I've, like, just, like, watched some videos. Like, it's so apparent that, like, these animals do have feelings. They're not just, like, these mindless creatures just here for our own benefit. They feel the stress and the pain and the, like, torture that they're being put through. And a lot of people, like, I've heard this argument before, they think that cows just come naturally, like, with milk. Like, they're just, like, they're born and they have milk to give. To make milk, you have to be pregnant. Cows, they have to be impregnated and then their babies are taken away. It's not like cows just magically have milk. Yeah. Another thing about the dairy industry is that it's directly tied into the veal industry. And if you don't know what veal is, like, you probably do, it's like baby cow meat. And so the mother gives birth to the baby, and the baby is taken instantly, like, if it's a male cow, it's taken instantly for veal.
And it's all one big system of sadness.
Yep. System of sadness.
That's like an emo band. So about 20 years is the average lifespan for a cow in the wild. And in the animal industry, that can last anywhere between 1 and 3 years. In order to prevent chickens from fighting in their cages, they cut off the ends of their beaks, which is extremely painful for chickens because there's so many nerve endings in their beaks.
Go watch some videos of it because it's, like, truly heartbreaking. Like, when I watch those videos, I literally am, like, in tears, like, oh my god, how is this allowed? Yeah. Like, I've cried over so many videos.
Yeah. And it's just, it was really eye-opening to me when I was vegetarian that it wasn't enough.
Yeah. Why would you kill a cow and eat a cow? It's like...
Yeah.
Why do you? Like, you might not be the one, like, actually doing the killing, but it's just as bad because every time you, like, put money into that industry, you're just, like, giving it more reason to, like, keep doing what they're doing.
So that's something you really have to do. It's something everyone should do, is make that connection between meat and animal, that it's an actual life that you're taking. I'll link this really super interesting interview in the description below. It's like 12 minutes long, but he just makes some really amazing points about veganism that I never even thought of before.
There's this YouTube video, it's like all this, like, PowerPoint presentation, and, like, it's actually not boring at all. It's called 101 Reasons to Go Vegan.
Oh yeah,
you showed it to me. It's so interesting. Like, oh my god, like, when I watched it, like, I thought, like, oh my god, like, an hour long of just, like, PowerPoint, it's gonna be so boring. No, it's, like, oh my god, it had so many good points.
I really encourage you guys to watch a documentary, a short video, read an interview, and just anything to get some more information on it. And they're really entertaining, so don't just think that it's gonna be some boring lecture. I just want people to be informed. That's just the basic. I mean, some people actually can't go vegan because they're not in control of who's buying the groceries, stuff like that. So as long as people know what they're eating, are informed of what's going on, that is just good for me.
Know what you're talking about before you just go off and say, like
shut it down.
Yeah, exactly. Love your animals.
Love your animals. So yeah, those are just a couple of things we wanted to say. We could talk about this forever, but we have some links down in the description below, so definitely please go check them out. And just think about it. Okay, so yeah, I think that's everything. Thanks, Molly, for joining me. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye!